What it do, Big Drew coming through without you knew. I am back with another death battle reaction. Y'all, this is a big one. It's gonna be a personal one. It's Blade versus Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So for anyone who knows me, Blade was a very critical part of my upbringing. Oh my god, the aesthetic, the music, Wesley Snipes, just everything. We need Blade to win. Come on, Blade. I'm gonna be hurt if he loses to Buffy. So gotta win. But before I move ahead, hit that like button, that share button, that subscribe button. Don't just subscribe here, but boom, the button should pop up right there. That leads to my gaming channel. Because I'll be playing video games and stuff over there. So make sure you subscribe, right? Without any further ado, let's get right into it. Looks like it's gonna be live action. All right.
Blade versus Buffy.
The Daywalker versus the Vampire Slayer.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons,
This will be
armor, and
interesting.
skills to find out who would win a death battle.
I was hoping for 3D animation, but no.
They're known by many names. Revenant, Vortalot, Nosferatu.
Vampires. When the moon is out and the night is young, these undead
Hellsing
demons
was
are out for blood.
Fitting
good
then
anime.
that the greatest foe of those who stalk the night is the one who can walk the day. Blade.
My boy!
Is that really his costume?
I need to get his first
Now
Half
there's a man who doesn't
combo.
file his taxes. Blade is one of the coolest superheroes ever and basically kickstarted the comic book movie craze.
He needs to come back in
Yet,
Marvel
he is
Super
also
Wars.
seemingly the only one who knows or cares that in the world of Marvel, vampires exist. Seriously, nobody talks about this.
Blade doesn't need anyone's help. He'll just aura farm by himself.
Even Blade's birth was hardcore. Just as the
100,
young
okay.
Eric Brooks's
But
mother
yeah,
was
it's
in
pretty
labor, her attending doctor turned out to be the vampire Deacon Frost.
And he drank her blood right before she gave birth.
This infused Eric with Frost's vampiric blood,
Okay.
turning him half human, half vampire. A Dampier.
Giving him a ton of vampy powers, but none of their weaknesses like garlic, holy water, or sunlight.
Eric would hone these abilities under the tutelage of vampire hunter Jamal Lafari, sharpening him
I
into
need to
a
actually
blade that would
get his
rake the
comics,
vampire
but-
plague for good.
Only know
Blade is
Whistler.
strong and fast enough to toss around 1,000-pound demons and cut bullets out of the air. He can keep up with Wolverine, who can deflect Cyclops' light-speed optic blasts. And his Kevlar DuPont armor helped him take the top of Count Von Stott's castle exploding.
He can heal small wounds immediately and sniff out the supernatural with his hypersenses. Also, his fangs can drain his victims of magical energies.
After studying the ways of Hong Kong Kung Fu movies, Blade
That's
became a master martial artist. Ah yes, the Rufus from Street Fighter School of Kung Fu.
While the only martial art he's been stated to know is Krav Maga, we know he's mastered more. So for the full scope of his martial
My
arts
boy,
ability,
Wesley
we'll
Snipes.
examine
Don't
the
understand.
Blade movies as performed by Wesley Snipes.
By looking at Snipes' training and choreography, we know Blade uses Kung Fu,
Yeah,
Capoeira,
they just need to bring
Brazilian
back
Jiu-Jitsu,
Wesley Snipes,
Eskrima, kickboxing, Shotokan
Mahershala
Karate,
Ali
and
could be
Hapkido. Add on Blade's knack
an
for
alternate
stealthy
universe Blade,
takedowns,
but
and I
bring
guess
back
you could
Wesley
call
Snipes.
him Marvel's Batman.
Blade's training progressed smoothly until Afari was attacked and had his blood drained by Dracula. Seriously, Avengers, Dracula is real. Why aren't you doing anything about this? He's right there!
Forced to murk his surrogate dad, Blade would have to wage his war alone.
Nursing a wound within him that would never heal, a hole that could never be filled.
Not with that attitude. Blade took a page out of the Book of
Reading guide.
Boomstick and tried filling that hole with every kind of weapon imaginable. He's got so many, they're his apartment decorations.
Handguns, assault rifles, and explosives make up the brunt of his firepower. And he enjoys getting up close and personal with his dual acid-etched titanium katanas.
Speaking of glorious Nippon steel, he's got a sword made out of adamantium.
Specifically, secondary adamantium, a variant of the metal that is mass-producible.
It might not be quite as strong as Cap's shield, but it can cut right
Music,
through
though,
heavy
hello.
hitters like Ultron and the Hulk.
Naturally, Blade has even more swords. His Atlantean ones can slice through magical enchantments. The Word Sword can harm intangible demons, and the Justiciar can slay fallen angels.
Yeah, he's got some weird stuff he can pull out of his ass, like a Hellfire shotgun that burns your soul, or hypodermic needles filled with vampire blood.
Bro,
Seems
so clearly I need
kind of
to
dumb to turn people into vampires,
more,
but it does make them more vulnerable to Blade's arsenal.
All
more
that
Blade comics.
pales in comparison to the arch weapon of hell in Blade's possession, the breathing gun. It is a living firearm that hisses in the presence of demonic forces. Its sentient bullets chase its victims down. The wounds they cause cannot be healed. And if they get lodged in your body, they'll slowly devour you from the inside out. They can even hurt Hell Lords and even greater threats like the Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Blade took everything he had and fought his one-man war for almost 100 years.
He's battled hordes of vampires while skydiving, infiltrated the Pentagon, and even took on Spider-Man like Miles Morales, who could absorb the energy of a bomb that could destroy Harlem. Blades even bested the Spirit of Vengeance, Zarathos.
And while he occasionally allied with teams like the Avengers, he prefers to work alone.
I probably would too if they only cared about me when I was helping them and not ridding the world of, vampires.
That, and Blade is scared of what he might do if he loses control, because he does have one classic vampire weakness:
Thirst.
a thirst for blood. Blah.
Even more so after he had a daughter, Brielle, whom he avoided for fear of endangering her. If his bloodlust does overwhelm him, he will enter a berserker rage, skyrocketing his strength at the cost of his sanity.
Though it does make him
gonna be
even
a good
better
song.
at killing vamps, he's made a cottage industry out of whooping Dracula's ass.
Dracula is unsurprisingly powerful, capable of summoning a thunderstorm that covered all of Boston with a wave of his hand.
Drac apparently didn't hold a grudge though, since he eventually made Blade the sheriff of Vampirsk, a vampire nation in the ruins of Chernobyl.
Amazingly,
What?
Dracula has even given Blade some of his own blood, which allows him to shapeshift into multiple forms, like a wolf, a horde of bats, or a cloud of mist.
So he can force his way inside your body and blow you up from the inside out, Ant-Man style.
What is with you with the Ant-Man? Blade's hatred of vampires is only matched by his hatred of himself. However,
I thought you
when
were gonna say familiar.
Brielle showed signs of vampiric powers, Blade finally found a reason to reconnect with his daughter, training her the same way Afari trained him a century prior.
Even after Blade was possessed by the first vampire ever and tried to take over the planet, Brielle put her dad's teachings to the test, saving both him and the world.
And proving that Blade's lonely war need not be so lonely anymore. With his daughter at his side, and also this plant creature pet called Boy Thing, let Marvel's vampires beware. For should they indulge their unnatural urges, they will be sure to meet their end at the tip of his blade.
Come on, Wesley Snipes. Okay, now let's hear
In
Buffy.
every generation, there is a chosen one. She alone will stand against the vampires, the demons, and the forces of darkness. She is the Slayer.
I don't know anything about
Thousands
her
of
other
years, a
than the
new
show,
Slayer
y'all.
would be granted incredible powers, and was destined to die young in battle against evil, passing their powers on to the next Slayer, and the
So?
next, and so on. That is, until the newest Slayer would change everything. Buffy Ann Summers.
Not exactly the first girl you'd think is the savior of humanity. Buffy's only goals in life were, in her own words, graduate from high school, go to Europe, marry
killed 2
Christian
people?
Slater,
Oh, come
and
on.
die.
But that would all change when the Watcher Merrick appeared and revealed her destiny.
Like, total bummer.
Merrick trained Buffy in the arts of vampire slang, and she became so efficient that she burned down her school. Whoops.
Forcing her and her mom to move to Sunnydale, California to start a new life, far away from any more bloodsuckers and bad makeup.
Unfortunately, small problem, Sunnydale just so happened to be right on top of a hellmouth, where the boundary
good old
between Earth
90s
and Hell
CGI.
is permeable.
Yeah, that sounds like the
Back
Valley,
when TV
alright.
was good.
Along with new Watcher Giles, Wallflower Willow, part-time bad boy, part-time sad boy Angel, magical retcon sister Dawn, and Xander. Buffy and her Scooby gang would battle a never-ending series of monsters.
And we mean truly never ending. Sure, there's the TV show, but Buffy has also been slaying vampires across video games, comics, and 128 novels.
probably got something in there.
Tens of thousands of pages of Buffy lore you've never heard of.
But we're just crazy enough to speed read them all.
Buffy carries a variety of anti-vampire weaponry. There's wooden stakes, of course, sometimes dipped in gorgon venom that can turn you to stone. Though she's also experienced with axes, swords, quarterstaffs, holy water, just about anything.
You said it! When she fought an ancient demon unable to be killed by any weapon forged in his time, Buffy introduced his stupid ass to the 20th century.
She's also a master of Aikido, Judo, Jiu-Jitsu, boxing, kickboxing, wrestling, karate, kung fu, wushu, tai chi, kendo,
there better be
capoeira,
some
and
impressive
taekwondo.
fights.
Buffy apparently thinks Hong Kong's kung fu movie masters could learn a thing or two.
No kidding. Thanks to her Slayer senses, her reflexes are fine-tuned enough to dodge close-range Gatling gun fire, lightning bolts from the sky, and even beams of light. She's kept up with another Slayer, Faith, who can dodge laser beams from point-blank range.
Buffy's strong enough to
light
bend
speed.
rebar, punch this 4.5-ton bat monster into the air, and smash hard enough to tear apart a building.
And despite her lack of armor, she can survive massive explosions, like the one that destroyed Cephrilion's lair that's bigger on the
Might be
inside.
stronger
She
than
can even
Blade, I don't
fight
know.
blindfolded, but if she is injured, she heals fast enough to be totally fine by the next episode.
One time, Angel sucked out almost all of the blood from her body, and she survived. Doubly impressive since Angel's blood draining also drains magical energy.
Yeah, Buffy's own magic makes her weirdly resilient to esoteric attacks, like when she expelled this misty shadow demon trying to possess her body, or when she resisted her soul being ripped apart and scattered across time.
Or that time she jumped into a vat of boiling liquid so hot it could reduce people to skeletons, and she was just fine.
She might not show physical scars, but she sure has emotional ones. Being the Slayer put a huge burden on Buffy's life.
Unable to live normally, she felt isolated, forced to internalize the trauma she faced on a daily basis. Sure, she had friends, but they couldn't understand her unique struggle.
Like when Angel turned evil after he took her virginity and tried to destroy the world. That
Yeah.
must be one of those.
Losing your V card will do that.
metaphors.
Sometimes the worst enemies are the ones you can't fight and who don't fight back.
Made even worse by her having all the memories of the other Slayers bouncing around in her head, dating back to the Stone Age.
Buffy has dreamt of every battle a Slayer has ever fought, and can call upon those skills in a fight, even subconsciously.
But this includes the memories of their deaths. Countless women violently dying young, a reminder of her inevitable fate.
A fate that came to pass when she fought the Hell God Glory. After leaping into Glory's reality-ending interdimensional hole,
A glory hole, if you will.
Buffy sacrificed herself to save the universe, dying a hero's death.
It appears my glory hole joke was poorly timed.
Finally freed of her unfair earthly responsibilities,
Saved the world
Buffy's
a lot.
soul ascended to heaven in perfect bliss. Until her friends brought her back to life in the agony of existence! This absolutely crushed Buffy, and ironically, annihilated her will to live.
Oh, that's rough, Buffy. But with the show renewed for more seasons, she had to nut up and continue her endless crusade against all things Spirit Halloween.
Buffy's battled for 48 hours straight, defeated vampires immune to traditional vampiric weaknesses, and destroyed the Sword of Sano, which caused the Great Hanshin earthquake.
And of course, both Buffy and her friends have defeated countless immensely powerful demons.
Like the Queller Demon, which arrived as a meteor and caused the Tunguska explosion, which destroyed over 2,000 square kilometers of forest. Or the Sorrow Demon, which caused a storm that blanketed Los Angeles.
She's also a match for Angel, who survived a blast that could rupture a continental shelf, and took hits from Whistler, whose magic contained a bomb that could vaporize London.
She even faced off against the First Evil, literally the embodiment of all evil that predates reality itself.
Forced into battles against stronger and stronger
I don't know,
baddies,
like-
Buffy clearly needed something to even the odds.
Blade's win, but they gotta-
Slayer safe!
It's actually a Bardiche,
Yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna say it. This thing is bullshit.
containing the essence of Buffy's Slayer powers and created to defeat ancient demons. The scythe can deflect magical projectiles and slice through just about anything. Ghosts, magic, even space itself, destabilizing reality in the process.
Even Silas, the devourer of worlds. Kinda like Galactus, but instead of chomping on planets, he eats the multiverse. And there goes his head.
So
The
she's a
scythe
reality
is
worker.
easily
Okay.
the most powerful tool in her arsenal. In effect, attaining it completed Buffy, as though it were a piece of her she never knew was missing. With the scythe, Buffy was finally whole. being the Slayer was no longer a burden, but a purpose.
And by sharing her Slayer powers with thousands of girls around the world, they all teamed up and kicked the first evil's ass.
Suddenly, the always isolated Buffy had thousands of shoulders to lean on, a sisterhood of Slayers.
And thousands more reasons for any wannabe demon conqueror to stay away from Earth. Because unless you want to get your blood all over her stylish yet affordable boots, you'll steer clear of Buffy, the Vampire Slayer.
Here we go.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
I want to hear this explanation and breakdown.
It's time for a live-action death battle!
All right. The music, okay. It's a good death battle for music. Let's go. Gotta be my boy, they got the jacket.
We were kings long before they had a name for kings. But now, starved, hunted, gotten.
My boy got the cornrows, alright.
You have waited long enough. Tonight, we remember who we were. Tonight, we take back what was always ours. Tonight, we feast.
Daywalker.
And she... That's just the start.
Damn! I feel like I need a glow stick. Hold up. Nothing else, at least they're giving Blade his due, like. So I gotta give it to Death Battle for their choreography. It's pretty good. Okay. Turn her.
Shoot's just a kid!
Not anymore.
Woohoo! Alright, let's go. They actually put in some real good choreography for this fight. I gotta say. That's a trippy
You out your damn mind?
No, like. Fights with camera work, you need a little bit of. Oh, snap. What's that happen? Or you think Buffy would like kick him in the balls or something? I don't know. Strong.
Amateur hour. There's always some motherfucker trying to ice skate
Straight
uphill.
uphill. Let's go. Blade, you should have seen that coming. Come on. In the leg? Come on. You could have got it in the skull or something. Got that sword. The adamantium.
Another sword.
I see you cut through adamantium.
Bring it on.
Leg. Now, Blade! Kill her! Like, you're fashion. See, you're hesitating. Trying to be too slick. Just always with the theatrics. That's where they get you. And what she like? Yeah, she's gonna pull some shit out of her ass. All right, let's go. Come on, brother man. Let's hear the explanation. Come on. Music was good though. Fight was good though. BS Blade lost, but it was a good fight.
It's like you got ahead of yourself.
Wow.
To be Blade tenued no longer. I'm surprised. I figured with Blade's many years of comic book history, he'd have the edge.
Believe it or not, Buffy is actually in more comics than Blade.
Really? Man, Blade can't catch a break.
Let's break this down into four
let's do
categories.
it.
First
Come
up,
on.
stats. Buffy's lifted much heavier things and survived more significant explosions.
Like,
Alright, figure
sure,
that one.
Blade's strong and all, but he isn't literally fucking buildings apart like Buffy.
Scaling to the monsters they fought, compare Dracula creating a storm that covered Boston to the Sorrow Demon creating a storm that covered Los Angeles, a city over 5 times larger. You might be able to compare Blade to Spider-Man like Miles, who absorbed a bomb that could blow up Harlem, but that's significantly weaker than Whistler containing a blast that could wipe out London. They could both dodge light beams, beams, but that doesn't keep Buffy from taking the overall edge in stats.
Blade's used to being the odd man out though, so his versatility is just as important.
With Blade's numerous powers and massive arsenal, he certainly could have overwhelmed the more straightforward Buffy.
Machine guns and magic swords are generally gonna beat out crossbows and morning stars. Not to mention,
shut her,
he
let's
actually
go.
wears armor.
Also, Blade's faster healing factor and immunity to traditional vampire weaknesses kept Buffy on the back foot for a time. Blade wins versatility.
But when it comes to skill, Buffy's got plenty of experience fighting armed opponents barehanded.
Both of them were masters of a similar number of martial arts.
And Blade has been kicking vampire ass for a century, way longer than Buffy's even been alive.
While Blade may have more personal experience,
Buffy
Buffy's
has the
ability to draw on
previous
Slayer
layers,
battles
yeah.
dating back to the Stone Age, at least 40 times older than Blade, gives her the superior skill. Even
Wow.
then, they both had weapons and abilities so powerful they could end the fight instantly, regardless of all else.
They're trump cards. Fortunately for Buffy, she actually countered almost all of what Blade could throw at her.
Withstanding Blade draining her energy with his bite? Check.
Resisting the Hellfire shotgun destroying her soul? Check.
Preventing Blade turning to mist and exploding her from the inside out? Check.
Meanwhile, Blade had no way to survive, say, Buffy's Gorgon venom turning him to stone.
And even with the deadly and just plain gross breathing gun, Blade did not have anything as potent as the Slayer sight. It could easily deflect the breathing gun's bullets back at him, or use its space-cutting ability to slice through his unbreakable adamantium sword.
Don't believe us?
The bullet should
Even
not- should not
Wolverine's
delay.
adamantium skeleton was cut in half when a portal closed on top of him. That's the same kind of thing.
And Wolverine's beta adamantium skeleton is a much tougher version of the same metal.
Oh, and since the Scythe could kill Silas, a multiverse devouring god, I think you could take down Blade with a big enough swing.
Giving
Whack!
Buffy the final advantage over the Daywalker.
Whack!
That Blade had a chance, but Buffy sure put a damn fear on things.
The winner is Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
All right, this better be a good.
Next time
upcoming
on Death Battle.
Dante?
Subscribe and join as a
Why?
member to see more Death Battle. Thanks for watching.
I guess. Whack! 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 Okay, it's okay. It was a good fight. I like the music, so I'm download that. Blade lost. Come on, man. We starting off the Halloween season like this. I guess, but I'll be back next time. Thank y'all for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. All those links down in the description. Follow me on all my social media. And yeah, I'm gonna go sit down because I'm salty. But yeah, thank y'all for watching. I'll see you next time.